Okay, so if you're watching this, this is clearly not the Zoom video that I prepared you in the PL. I don't know what's gone wrong, but both my videos it didn't work for some reason or another. So here I am at home making this again. Never mind, let's get into it. So just the meeting norms, I don't need to go through that again because it's all been and done. Hopefully you got something out of the session yesterday or Friday, whenever you're watching this. From what I understand, there were a lot of positives to come out of the day, not just from my session, but from everyone else's. So that's really, really good. The learning intention success criteria. So hopefully you were able to wrap your head around everything that I was talking about. I know it was very quick. Um, it does take time to familiarize yourself with OneNote. It's not something that it's not something you're going to pick up straight away. But hopefully you're able to create a notebook for a class or a PLT group in 2021, or at least identify where it might be useful and how you might go about using it. If you do need any help or support setting anything up, obviously anyone from TMG, I'm also more than happy to sit down and help you with that. I've used it 3 years now for three different classes. Mixed results, but it's it's okay. It's workable. So first of all, what is it? Um, like I said on Friday, if you think about it like a student's binder, okay, they've got this big thick binder that they carry around to all their classes, but OneNote, it condenses it into the size of, well, into the size of a mobile phone. Okay, they can access it from a mobile phone, they can access it from their tablet or their computer or whatever they bring to class, or they can access it from any computer anywhere in the world. So all their notes, all their lessons, everything like that, they will have access to. Okay, so there's none of this, I've lost this piece of paper or I can't find this worksheet. It's all contained within the confines of OneNote. So it's a digital folder that just helps them be more organized. It's really good as a teaching tool as well because it helped me I guess organize my thoughts and organize my lesson plans, and I'll show you some examples of what I've done. But I would plan the lesson and I would send it out to the kids, and then they would have a record and I would have a record, and then I could follow it up next year or even in a couple of years time, and make changes and what worked and what didn't work. So it's really handy for them in the sense of organizing them, and it's also really handy for us. Um, so yeah, essentially, it's a digital version of their folder which they can condense into a mobile phone. So this is what it looks like. Okay. First of all, I need to say there are different versions of OneNote. There's the desktop version, which comes or came within the Microsoft Office suite when you downloaded it, but they've since discontinued that, I believe. So when you install Office, you no longer install that by default. And then there's the version that you can see on the screen here, which ships with Windows 10. So there are differences between the two. So I guess that's sort of the first hurdle that you need to overcome if you're going to use it in class, because some of the kids will say, well, my screen doesn't look anything like yours. Why is that? And that's the probable answer. Okay, so what we have here is we have our notebooks. So these are all our subjects here. Okay, so think of those as like your English, your maths, your science, humanities, PE, IT, so on and so forth. Okay, within each of those subjects, you have your different topics. Okay, so you might have, VCE, PE. You might have, I don't know, they might break it down into Unit 1, Unit 2. And then under each of those sections, they'll have the different topics. Under each of those sections, they'll have their pages. Okay, so these are all the individual pages. And then this big section here, okay, that's actually, and if I can get why can't I get my pointer? Never mind. In this section here, that's where all the content goes for that particular page. So it should be noted that they're not all the same. Okay, each of the OneNotes, they look different, and they contain different things, different aspects to it. Okay, so you can create them through OneNote, or you can create them through Teams. They're both linked. So as soon as you create a team, depending on the type of team that you create, you may have a notebook attached to that team. Okay, so when you do it in Teams, you get the choice. Okay, and the team that you use determines the template that gets used within your OneNote. All right, so these are the teams which you would have seen on Friday. So this is the one that you need to set up if you want to use it within your class. Okay, this is the one that you would set up if you want to use within your PLT. Don't worry about these two. There are similarities, but these are the two main ones that you want to use. Okay, so this one's for students, this one's for staff. So if you just create a new notebook within OneNote, you'll get a plain looking one just like this. Okay, I have the class notebook add-in, which is why you'll see that. Actually, no, that's set up for a class notebook, but it's just a blank template. Moving on. So these are the features and the use of each of the different templates. Okay, so you can see the personal one, it's pretty much a blank canvas. Okay, there are no collaborative spaces, there are no teacher only sections. It's literally just a folder for you. Okay, so you can record PL notes, you can lesson plan, you can organize your work or organize your thoughts, whatever you want to do with it. It's a blank canvas. The staff, the PLC, and the class notebooks all contain a collaboration section. Okay, so you can set up a task so students can all work on the same document at the same time. Like you found on Friday, it might be a little bit glitchy if you're using the web browser. I don't know. I have no explanation for it. Different computers are syncing at different times, and sometimes it can create a little bit of havoc. But some of the uses, you might have for a staff one, you might like to place units of work there, or your I don't know, assessment tasks or whatever it might be. So you have the option to add and remove staff. You can also have individual sections within the staff page. But the one that we're going to look at is the class notebooks. So you can, excuse me, you can record notes, you can collaborate, you can distribute tasks and worksheets really, really quickly. It's incredibly quick and easy to do that. If you want to send out, 25 of the same worksheet to all of the kids in your class, couple of clicks and you're done. And then you also have an individual section for, teacher planning and that sort of thing. So if you want to put in, lesson plans and assessment notes and attendance data, all that sort of stuff can go into that individual section for the teachers only. So what does it look like when you actually use it in class? What you see on the screen is an example of how I used it within my was it Unit 3-4 informatics class last year. So you can see here what I was talking about. You have the teacher only section, and I had like exam revision questions, homework tasks, and then assessment for their SAT. And then I had their lesson planning, which was broken down into both the units with individual lessons and then the resources for each of the lessons. I had a copy of the textbook, which I could refer to. I could see the collaboration space. I also had the content library, which, think of it exactly like a library. Okay, you can take materials out, you can put things in. Like you can see there, I had all the different topics that were covered throughout the course of the year. They had a section for orientation, so the kids can all see this, they can all access this, but they can't modify anything that's contained within the content section. Okay, all they can do is copy it and paste it into their own folders, which we'll look at in a little bit. The collaboration space, they can see it, they can edit it, they can delete stuff, they can add stuff, they can, if they really wanted to, and this was raised in the meeting or the PL, they can delete other kids' work, which is, I guess, one of the drawbacks, but you as a teacher, you can actually see who's modifying what and who's contributing and who's not and that sort of thing. So the collaboration space is open to everyone. The kids can't see any of the teacher-only stuff, and you can't see it, but down further is all of the students listed for that informatics class, and they can only see and access their own folder. So no other student can see another student's work. So yeah, look, using it in class, like I said, it's incredible. Some of the stuff that you can do with it, you can put documents from Word, Excel, Publisher, whatever. Okay, you can put anything you want there. You can put PDFs, you can put pictures and videos and links to websites, to other documents, whatever you want to do. You can draw on it if you have access to the pen. You can include formulas. It's whatever goes, basically. Here is an example of one of my lesson plans, and straight away within here you can see there's a couple of web links, there's a video here, there's a picture here. I've annotated, not very well, but I've annotated the picture here. The kids, once they'd copied this page, would then be able to add stuff into this table. You can highlight important things with the little tags, which are customizable as well. It's whatever you want to do with it. I'm not saying that this is a really good example. I'm sure there are better examples out there, but this is just one way that you might go about it. All right, well, we'll leave it there for a sec, and I will show you around OneNote just for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll look at this PMI table. Okay, so here we have the OneNote for Windows 10. This is the version that ships with Windows 10, not the one that you get through Microsoft Office. What they are doing is they're migrating slowly some of the features because both had different features and do things slightly differently in some aspects, but Microsoft are slowly migrating some of the things from the desktop version to this version. But you'll see this is a session that this is the OneNote from the first session. Like I said, this is set up this is the Staff Tech Talk notebook, which if you want to refer to it at a later date, you can do. So it has literally all of the staff in here. I'm not sure why I can see everyone's, perhaps because I'm an owner of the team. But look, I'm sure there's nothing in here except for one of the sections that's been pushed out, I would say. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So this is the collaborative space. You can see here, these are the ideas that staff came up with. I'm not sure who that is. It's not going to tell me. It should tell me. Anyway, it's not going to tell me. Doesn't matter. So this was done collaboratively. There were some really good ideas that came up. Here is an example of what can be done in terms of inserting things. So this was just a quick video that I recorded the other day, which I'll show you very quickly.
So what I want you to do now is I want you to complete the table using the collaborative section of OneNote. I want you to come up with some positives, some minuses, and some opportunities that exist within OneNote. So, for example, what impact will BYOD have on our ability to use OneNote? Have a go, see what you come back with, and I'll share my little table with you guys in a bit.
So really good if you wanted to say, I don't know, give an explanation. Perhaps you wanted to give feedback to a student after an assessment task that they've put up onto their OneNote. Um, Again, it can be whatever you want it to be for. You can also, you can also insert an audio recording. It doesn't have to be video. You can insert symbols, equation, you can do maths, you can do stickers if you wanted to. They'll appear on the side here, so just click in when it lets me. Never mind, let's do it that way. Oop, got a couple now, it's a bit slow. So there you go, you just click and drag them in, and you can resize it, do whatever you want to it. You are kind of, I guess, limited as to where you can place it. If you want to, you can also set it into the background. So now it actually can't be modified. Um, yeah, look, it's entirely up to you what you want to use it for. What I found with OneNote is that it actually went to another level when you started using the pen too. It's great to be able to, draw on it here and okay, yep, fantastic, good idea there. You can give a couple of ticks if you want, but it's a bit clunky using the mouse. Okay, but actually being able to draw on it and use it as a means of assessing students' work. I found it in the remote learning periods. It was brilliant. I could get the kids to submit the work to OneNote, which they were doing prior to remote learning, and it doesn't cost them anything in terms of like printing. They can print a document, they can type directly in, and then I could assess it directly as well. So, examples of it. Where's my class? There it is there. Um, here's an example here. Um, student's taken a photo of her work that she's completed, which, you can zoom in on if you find it difficult to read. And look, it all depends on, I guess, the quality of the picture. If, they're taking pictures, but they could also print it out directly or they could complete it directly within. But, you know, they've chosen to take a couple of photos and then print it out that way. And then I was able to give them feedback. I'd like to say without having, printed any paper. Some of the other students have done that. They've just edited it directly within the OneNote. So there's been literally no printing taking place. I can give feedback using the pen and it works really, really well. Compass, for example, with the submitting of assessment tasks, what I found was I would have to download them all and then my screen would just be full of 20 documents that then I would have to either print out or save and then work my way through. Whereas this, I can just open it. I didn't need to download anything. It was all done within the confines of OneNote. So yeah, look, the pen really took it to another level. You can also change. If I can select, it won't let me do. It won't let me do both. Why aren't you letting me do both? I can change the size of it. I don't want to do that. Anyway, you can ink to shape. So if you wanted to, I could try and make that into a. It's not going to let me do it. Make my shape a little bit nicer. What you can also do as well is, I should have just left it. Here we go. I can get it to do ink to text. It's not great. um, you know, fantastic. I love this. This is the best ones that I've seen. Well done. Yeah, you can see what it produced. Fantastic. I caught this. This is the bits outs that I have star with sort. Not great. I'd say it's still a work in progress. Anywho, yeah, so look, definitely the pen is the way to go. There are ways around it, but yeah, look, the pen, I love my pen. Graphics tablets, you could use graphics tablets, but it's a bit clunky and it's nowhere near as good. So if we go back to our, where is it? Staff Tech Talk. There it is there. So if we go back to our section, what I might do is I might take you through each of the different things. So across the top in the ribbon, you've got all the usual sort of things that you would find in Microsoft Word, Excel, that sort of stuff. You've got your bold, italics, your fonts, you've got your copy and paste. You can highlight, which you can also change the color of. If I wanted to highlight that, we can highlight it in red. I don't know why I didn't do it first off. So, when you're correcting work, you can highlight things, say this is well done, or this is an area you need to work on, or whatever it might be. You can change your font color. You can clear all the formatting too, if you want. So I want to get rid of all that. So let's get rid of it. You can also, you have a couple more font formatting options. You have your subscript and your superscript, strike through as well. Dot points, numbered lists, you can adjust the indent as well. You've got paragraphs there. So that's what I was looking for the other day. I couldn't find it. So there we go. So yeah, if I wanted to, center that, I can center that. If I wanted to make this right aligned, again, same as in Word. Okay. Here you have, this is what I was saying, where you could put tags. Okay, so if there's something that you think is really important for the kids to know, you can tag it with a star. You can actually customize those as well. You can create new tags too. You can select an icon and give it a name and then go from there. So that's using the tags, and I just want to remove that. Get rid of that. You've got your headings. So you saw um, in my class one, you can have, let's say, if I could type learning intention, you can have your success criteria, and then you could make those both heading one, and then you can have just normal text under that. You might have another section after that, which is the the lesson content, or whatever you want. So yeah, you can different headings in terms of importance. You can also do voice dictation if you want. Again, it's probably not great. It's come a long way from where it first started, but let's just see how well it works. I am going to say purple monkey dishwasher. It even got the misspelling there. Um, Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. It seems to have gotten a lot better than the last time I used it. So this would be really good for those students that maybe struggle with their typing, struggle with their writing. They could use the voice dictation at home, or maybe in one of the um, breakout rooms. Full stop. So you can even, I didn't say but, backspace. No, it doesn't work. So you can put in punctuation, question mark. So there you go. Voice dictation. It works better than what it did. Ah, there's a few errors there. And then you just turn it off. You can also change the language too. I've never actually played with it to see if it actually writes it in, let's pick on German. Hello, how are you today? No, that's not what I said. Okay, so it appears to be translating in German. Hello, my name is Gavin. Close, but no cigar. It's not Kevin. Not bad. Not bad. Um, I'm sure people would have a bit of fun there with that one. Anyway, so moving on. You've got your insert. So you can, insert a table if you want, same as you would in Word. You can make it bigger, but it's a little bit, let's say, clunky. It's not quite as good as what Word is. You can't just click and drag it out like you would. You can insert files if you want. So I will put in a copy of the PowerPoint from today. I want to insert it as, yeah, okay, so there's the OneNote PL there, so you can open the file and edit it directly. You can also insert a printout of it too, which I will do in a different section. So this is what I was saying, that, do you know what, let's do it now. You don't actually need to use your print credits, but the process is still the same. Oh, here we go. So this is a little bit different actually. I'll show you how to do it the other way in a second. Let's see what comes out. I've not actually inserted a printout this way before. Okay, so there you go. So there is a printout of the entire slideshow. Not the way like I said, not the way I've normally done it, but it works. So you've also got the file there. You can insert pictures, you can insert videos. Like I said, you can do audio recordings, you can insert meeting details, symbols, equation, math, stickers. You can also embed forms within. Again, you can draw, which we've already looked at. You can open new windows. If you don't like mine's dark because I'm using the Windows dark mode. If you don't like that, um, that's something within my Windows settings. But you can also change the color if let's say you're working on it late at night and you don't want to look at a white screen, so you can switch the background color there. This is one that's really good for some of those lower level reading ability kids. So what you can do is use the immersive reader feature. It does remove all the formatting, but it's pretty good. Let's scroll down to here and we'll start from here. So highlight where you want to start. At the moment you can see it's highlighting all the verbs. That's a cool little trick I found out the other day. You can get it to highlight parts of the speech. The nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. You can get it to break it down into syllables as well. So that's something that English teachers might find particularly useful. You can also change it how it focuses. Maybe it goes at a line at a time, or it goes multiple lines. We can turn that off. You can get it to translate into different languages as well, and then you can also adjust the font size if you want. So really good for that differentiation. It's an interesting noise. Anyway, so let's see how this works.
Just see how well it works. I am going to say Pecore Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It even got the misspelling there. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. It seems to have gotten a lot better than the last time I used it, so this would be really good for those students that maybe struggle with their typing, struggle with their writing. They could use the voice dictation at home, or maybe in one of the breakout rooms. But so you can even, I didn't say, but backspace, now it doesn't work, so you can put in punctuation. So they go voice dictation, it works better than what it did. There's a few errors there. Hello Harry 3 Newsats Nordestedt. Okay, so Oder PS Toby translating in German. Hello, mein name ist Kevin Kreis, bad 90 Jets not Kevin.
You can actually adjust the speed of it as well. So if you find that it's reading too fast, you can slow it down, you can speed it up. You can also, if you don't like a female voice and you want to choose a male voice, you can do that too.
Kevin. Just see how well it works. I'm going to say Pecore Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It even got the misspelling there. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Seems to have gotten a lot better than the last time I used it, so this would be really good for those students that maybe struggle with their typing, struggle with their writing. They could use the voice
dictation at home, or maybe in one of the breakout rooms. But so you can even, I didn't say, but backspace, now.
Anyway, that was just something that I think is really, really cool. Cool little tool to have access to. Zoom in, zoom out, set the page to 100%. Maybe you want the page width. You can change the page color. You can even rule lines as well. I won't get into templates, but there is the option to create pages based on a template. And I know in the past, when I've attended Summer Institute, Avid have created templates for OneNote, so you can have the you can have your Cornell notes set up, or the focus note taking, however you want to set it up. There are variations within each of those templates. So yeah, you can rule up your pages if you want to do that. If you wanted them to maybe handwrite, you've got grid lines there. So there's that. In the class notebook, you can't actually view the deleted notes, which I found was a problem for kids if they wanted to delete a page for whatever reason. So one thing I've gone and done is created a notebook. It's called a rubbish bin. Perhaps that's why it wasn't showing up. Then you've got any help features that you might need, and then this is the class notebook. So like I was saying, if I wanted to distribute a lesson plan to all of the kids, so if I wanted to, for example, distribute this section to everyone in this list, if I was going to do that one by one, it would take forever. Okay, so what I can do is I can distribute the actually, let's just, no, I don't want to do that. I want to distribute the page. So let's go distribute page. Select the student section. No, I don't want to do it there. Okay, why isn't it? Okay, let's just do a new section. So let's call it TMG Day 2020. Distribute that. And once it's finished doing its thing, which is definitely a lot quicker than if I'd done it one at a time. Huh, why hasn't it done it? It says that it's done it. Something's gone wrong. Making me look bad. Okay, anyway. I want to distribute stuff to TMG Day 2020. Let's see. Maybe it'll appear after I've done this. So now what I'm telling it to do is distribute this page here to everyone. So I'll pause this and I'll come back once it's finished. Okay, so that took quite a while. Not that you guys would know. I have a feeling it's because of all the files in there. I'm not sure. Perhaps my internet's a little bit slow tonight. I don't know. Fingers crossed that it actually appears here. It's still not. Okay, it's making me look real bad. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see if syncing it will fix it. There we go. Just hadn't synchronized. So TMG Day has appeared, and now everyone has a copy of the table, a copy of my little playing around and voice dictation, a copy of the PL notes, which I'll still put up in another place anyway, but there it is there. So that has appeared for everyone. If I was to try and do that one by one, it would have taken forever. I can also review student work if I want, which is a really cool feature too. So here, what I can do is I can click review student work. Oh, right, because it's not a class notebook, I can't do it. But basically what you would do is you would say, okay, let's say in here we had a homework section. Okay, you'd tell it that you want to review the homework section and then, week one homework, and make sure that every student uses the same labeling thing. It makes it really easy to find. Then you don't need to go searching through the notebook. And you go, okay, there it is there. There's the next student, there's the next student, there's the next student, so on and so forth, and basically go through and mark the work that way. So really cool feature that. So from here, you can also create a class notebook. It doesn't do it within OneNote. It does it from a web page, so it's a little bit clunky. It's probably easier to create a class from Teams and add the students that way and then get the access to the notebook. So that's probably the way I would do it, the way you guys set it up the other day. The same with the adding, the removing of teachers and students. Again, I would do it all from Teams. It just seems to work that little bit easier. That is pretty much everything in OneNote. What I might do is I might go back and show you my PMI table, just to give you an idea. Look, probably all of the things that I have been said anyway, but yeah, absolutely, students can access it from home. It would help organize multiple classes. It would help organize students' work. It's true, everything is organized in one spot. It's definitely much easier to find stuff because everything can be put onto the one page instead of going, okay, well, this is found in, this in the resources tab, and this is found in this section, and linking just seems to work that little bit easier too. So absolutely. Sorry, just had my dog going nuts at a fox or something. So yeah, that's OneNote. I said I'd show you examples of what I had for one of my classes. So this is what I set up for my informatics class. This is probably the better example of what I had. So I had my marking, where I would just go in and circle the particular criteria. Had the collaboration space, so everyone was able to edit there. My content library, so I had work checklists, which the kids all had access to, exam questions that they could answer. I had a copy of the textbook there initially when they didn't have access to. Lesson planner for orientation was all there. Semester 2, holiday homework for 2019, so they had access to all that over the holidays as well. And then it was broken down into each of the different sections. So there's some pictures in there which have to re-download because I'd actually closed this subject. But I actually didn't print a single thing for this subject all year. The kids were they wanted to use OneNote. So it's kind of hit and miss. You will get classes that, yes, they just solely want to use it, and it is kind of determined by whether or not you can get access to a computer lab or not. If you can get access to a computer lab, it's great. If we get a class with BYOD that everyone has the device, again, it's great. But you need that technology in order to use the OneNote. So that's, I guess, one of the downsides. And then, here are my students. They had their section for their lesson outlines. So again, literally every single lesson was put in there. Class notes, any handouts, homework tasks, revision tasks, the SAT, glossary terms, so all the chapters there, any questions, and then, like I said, the rubbish bin, so they could delete things if they needed to. So yeah, that is a class notebook. And that is pretty much OneNote. Like I said, it was going to be like I said yesterday or Friday, it was going to be a bit of an overview to OneNote. It's almost gone the hour. I'm sorry for taking so long. I'll pause it here. I'll open up the slideshow and we'll finish it off. So what are the positives, the negatives, and the interesting things about OneNote? So I said that, yeah, you can create notebooks with unlimited pages. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't need to buy any more pages. You can embed multimedia. You can collaborate. You can print. You can access all the notebooks 24/7. You can share pages. It saves automatically, so you don't need to worry about losing documents. It saves automatically every time a change is made. The screen reader, that's a really cool feature, the one I was showing you, the immersive reader. Digital ink, again, brilliant. It took my OneNote usage to a whole nother level, like I said. Being able to write on the screen and give students feedback that way was really, really good. They appreciated the feedback, instantly as well. Some of the drawbacks, it is kind of difficult to wrap your head around initially. And yes, you do need computer access to develop the notes, but it could be something whereby you put your lessons on after the fact, and then the kids can access it at home, or if they're sick or whatever it might be. So that might be one way around it. But you definitely do need to have the computer access to use it effectively. Interesting things. Yeah, look, the BYOD program, hopefully, we can get some more, I guess, more devices within the classes, so then we can use OneNote effectively without having to book labs. I guess time will tell. Finally, some advice is I would do one class. Just start with one class, start simple, and then, get that down pat. Get the, I guess, the template that you want to use, find out what works, what doesn't work, and then build it up as you go. Start with one class and then maybe, 2, 3, and before you know it, you'll be doing all of them. Not everyone's going to be on board. You are going to have the students that will love it, and then you're also going to have the ones that they have no idea what they're doing and they're just not into it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of advice that I've got for people who are interested. If you do want help, I'm always available. Just give me a shout, and yeah, we'll work out a time. But that's it. So thanks for sitting through the presentation yesterday and watching this again, or if you're seeing this for the first time, hopefully it's been been a worthwhile thing and not a waste of 45 minutes almost. Yeah, thank you.